Today, I received my largest JEPQ dividend payment ever, and it came from a fund many people still don't know about, JEPQ. Do you want to know how much it was and why it might belong in your portfolio? Let's break it down. Hey everyone, welcome back to Simply Money. I'm sharing an exciting update about JEPQ, a fund that's been quietly stacking dividends in my account, and trust me, this latest payout was the biggest one yet. So I'm going to update you with a chart that we have showing you from the initial investment till now, the growth that this has seen, and why it is the biggest JEPQ dividend payment I've received yet. Let's go ahead and dive into that. So to recap, for those who haven't watched this before, we're using September 1st, 2022 is when we bought $50,000 worth of JEPQ. Price at the time was $45.64. So we were able to get 1,095 shares. So we're going to go down here. I want to show you 1 month in particular, just shortly after purchasing this in November of 2022, it paid the highest dividend amount per share at 68 cents. And I want you to look here, the payment was $760. And that was a really nice payment. And with the number of shares growing with reinvestments of that dividend, we were up to 1,136 shares. So I was able to get 68 cents per that new amount of shares I owned. I want you to keep this in mind here, because the newest dividend was actually lower than this per share, but the amount was much higher. And that's because of this reinvestment, how many more shares I got the dividend payment for. And that's the power of the DRIP, the dividend reinvestment plan. By putting those dividends back into the fund until I'm ready to use them, until I need them to live off of. When I decide that I'm going to start using these dividends, I just reinvest them. So now I want to skip down here. You can see the dividend has fluctuated anywhere from that 68 cents, went down to 35 cents. We had a 34 cent, but then it's been slowly climbing back up. And now we see June 4th, 2025, the dividend was only 62 cents. It was 6 cents less than back in November of 2022. But look at the payment is $924. And that's because we've been reinvesting and buying more shares each and every month. Now we're up to 1,508, almost 1,509 shares. And our portfolio balance is up to 79,000. And you can see it's down a little bit from its peak because we've been through a kind of rough first and second quarter here so far in 2025. Very volatile market right now. It's been down, back up, and then down. There's a lot of uncertainty causing that, which is normal. It's part of the ride. You just have to keep looking long term, because people, you might look and say, oh, you're down. Yeah, I'm down 2,000 from the highest it ever got, but I'm up $28,400 from when I first purchased it. So that may not seem like a lot, but considering that I'm buying no more, I'm just reinvesting the same dividends that I'm getting, I've increased my dividend payments from just under $600, $400. The best one early on was $760. That was 2.5 years ago. Now $700, $787, $881, now $924. My dividend payments are going up. Now this is only a small portion of my portfolio. I own about 5% of my portfolio in JEPQ. That's just to help boost my dividend amount, because my goal is living strictly off dividends, never touching the principal. And so this helps get a little bit of a boost in the yield with still a little bit of growth. As you can see, the stocks themselves have grown from $45 to $52 per share. That's only a 14.86 growth, which isn't phenomenal. It would continue producing me, if I was to start taking it now, between $700 and $900 a month of extra income to supplement and never selling a share of this. So that's why I do it. Those who watch my channel, you know that SCHD is my biggest holding, and that's where I'll generate the bulk of my dividends. Those dividend payments are much higher than the JEPQ, but JEPQ allows me to use a very small portion of my portfolio to create a substantial extra dividend boost. And it's not going to grow. The dividend growth rate isn't there like with SCHD. As you can see, it fluctuates. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes up, but it's a nice income producing ETF for me. That's why I use it. Maybe you have a different reason why you use it. Share me a comment down below. Why do you use JEPQ if you do? If you don't, is there a reason why? Share that with the community. I'm just curious why people don't want JEPQ, and everyone has to make their own decisions. I have mine in a tax-friendly account, so I'm not paying taxes on these dividends because they're just being reinvested and just growing. When I go to use them, they will be taxed differently because they're not all qualified dividends. So you have to consider those things, and just curious why you do or don't use JEPQ in your portfolio. So that's the update. It may not be exciting for some, but to me, that's an amazing just return on investment. I could go ahead and sell out of this position now, and I'd be up $28,000. I could roll that $79,000 into SCHD or SCHG for growth, depending where I was at on my portfolio balance. But for now, I'm just using this as a small position to see how this benefits me in my dividend-only retirement. So that's the update for today. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. That really helps the channel out, and I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the bell so you're notified of future videos, and we'll see you next time on Simply Money.